Hello and welcome to Kinky Kitten Gaming. I am your Kinky Kitten, and today we will be building a Magical Bullet deck, or Magical Musketeers as they're called over here in the TCG. Now, this is my first time building it. I've tried to build one in real life, and, playtesting in real life is different than playtesting online. Online, you get to try out the cards that that are really expensive. Such as Ash Blossom and stuff, that are a little bit harder to get in real life. So, the key to this is trying to maintain a good ratio of monsters, magic cards, and trap cards, and also not just throwing in the entire archetype's worth of monsters and cards just into the deck and hoping it works. That's not how it works. So, the main playmaker of this deck is, not main playmaker, main card, basically, is Caspar. Just adding 3 of those, because his effect is very powerful. When you activate a card in its column, it gets to search one Magical Musket card, which can be any one of the toolbox that Magical Muskets have access to. As you'll see later, they have got a spell and trap negator, they've got a monster negator, they've got battle protection, and they've got card effect destruction protection. So, being able to search those is really, really useful. Next, we'll have 3 Starfires. These just special summon from the deck, and that's almost never a bad thing. Level 4 or lower, so you can't just stuff in the tribute monster and hoping that'll go. Next is the Kid Brave. Now, draw power is always good, but in real-life playtesting, I've had situations happen where Kid Brave is the only card I've got, and I've only got 1 card in my hand. So, activating that last card in my hand, I've got nothing to use for Kid Brave's effect, which is discard a Magical Musket and then draw 2. Now, hopefully I can build this deck so that doesn't happen as much. Calamity is your Monster Reborn of the deck. And honestly, that's always good. Well, it's good in the late game, not in the early game. Early game, it's trash. In real-life playtesting, I put 2 Calamities in my deck, and I always drew it first turn, second turn, when it wasn't as useful as it would have been later on. Next we have the Doc. 2 of him, because he is basically, he returns spells and traps from the graveyard back to the hand, which is great in this kind of deck. Alright, now, what we'll do afterwards is, let's see, we're going to put in 1 wild, and this is so that we can also, put in Ties of the Brethren, which require, so if I Ties of the Brethren Calamity, I could summon Wild and Starfire. Or if I do it on Star, summon Wild and summon Calamity. I mean, I'm not normally going to be doing it at level 4s, but it's an option. Otherwise, I'd just stick Wild in the side deck. Alright. Now, when it comes to other monsters that might be useful in here, Maxi is always good. If I could spell it right. Oh, there we go. And, of course, Ash Blossoms, because you really want to stop your opponent from just searching their, making their board first turn. Just 2 of them so you don't brick. I mean, normally I'd play 3. I don't even have 1 of these RL, so let's see. And also, Honest. It's unlimited, which is great, but You don't want more than 2. If you're going to have 3, they're going to brick. If you're going to have 1, then you're never going to see it. 2 is just fine. Alright, and one thing we can also tech in here. Archfiend Eccentric. Here we go. Now, if you're wondering why, first of all, Ties of the Brethren target. And secondly, when it is, you attribute one, like when it's a pendulum, destroy a spell or trap card, which is always good. And then, as a monster, it can also target and destroy monsters, which is also good. I think I'll reduce Kid Brave to 2. Because, like I said, in RL playtesting, it wasn't as good as I had hoped. Let's see. Now, first spell and traps. Alright, let's see. Okay, Cross Dominator is one of the main ones that you want. It negate an effect and, you know, make a monster's attack 0, which is just perfect. One of the main weaknesses of this deck is not having a Magibullet on the field, or and also Psi Frames are going to pretty much ruin your day. Desperado is going to be one of the main cards, you know, just so you can keep on destroying your opponent's face-up cards and maybe disrupt their plays. But that requires you knowing, you know, how their deck works, so you know exactly which card to nuke. Now, I'm still working on this, as I've just returned to the game recently. So I don't always know which card to nuke in their combo. And sometimes, you know, just nuking it won't even stop it. But you have to try. Alright. 2 of these are Devil's Deal, or, you know, Fiendish Deal. Protect you from Reigeki, Dark Hole, you know, just all of the destruction. And also, it has a handy effect as well, which is always great when it's destroyed. But the thing is, it's a continuous trap. It'll block the Magical Musketeer column that you need open. So, that's the main drawback. Next, we'll put in Last Stand, or Dead Man's Burst. That is your main negation, and considering, yeah, you might just stack it up to 3. Just no question. Next card we're working on is Ties of the Brethren.